Good morning, people of this mystery that we call society or reality, for whatever reality actually means. Today we talk about something that normally I avoid because the idea about those videos and what I write, it's to focus within, because I strongly believe that everything begins within, and the external, it's only consequence of what is going on inside this costume that we call our body, that is what is ours? Nothing. But there was something lately that was really bothering me, and right or wrong, I decided to write something and and now make this video. I'm sure that being aware of what we might have co-created with other people externally can help as well to go within and try to change what is going on inside. But it's even true that when you are focused too much on what's going on out there, we might tend to go actually opposite way and go focus too much on the external, trying to change what's happening outside in the world, thinking that the solution would be to change the external, and it won't change. It will transform into something else that will become eventually the same problem with a different name. So I just felt that it was the right things to share those things that really annoys me those days, and it's always annoyed me, but it's just that it's bothering me much more than usual. So it's not a secret that I'm against any corporation, big multinational, and any kind of small or big chain. So lately, someone I know, someone that I worked before, and a long time ago, and that I got to know a little bit more, it's having a huge fight against a big chain that it's now eating up any other little one, like a monster eating everything to become bigger and bigger. Now, this company is called the Blank Street Coffee, and behind has a huge amount of investors. Now, they are not the only one, so the fact that the video is about them, it doesn't mean that they are the main problem. They are one of the problems that is destroying everything. It has been destroying everything's for centuries. Probably, I would say, started with the Industrial Revolution. So, but the problem here is that I can see clearly a plan to take over any little space, because and literally make it, and it's already hard, but make it even harder for anyone to start any small medium business. So the plan to me is that basically eventually everyone except those few that call themselves the elite will basically own everything. We all gonna become employees, and no one will be happy. Maybe the really few, there is always someone that will be happy to be enslaved and exploited. And as someone, the famous Karl Schwab, if I remember well the name of this, one of those psychopathic, you will own nothing and you will be happy. Now, the problem is, you will own nothing, you will be unhappy, and they will be happy. Already in the major big cities, all those big corporations and multinationals already own all the main high streets of big cities, small cities. What I could see at least here in UK is probably only some small town that still retain some personality and where those big corporation has no interest. So they still, you can still seeing those small businesses, and like a bit of the population able to own something. Don't get me wrong, the majority is still working for others, for factories and so on. But it's just becoming this, those eating up, not just now the high street, but even off streets and back street from those big multinational is becoming bigger and bigger, becoming more and more evident. Now, what most of the people doesn't realize, because to realize about something or to understand about something, you need to make them aware. If you don't make them aware, they won't know. And really few, maybe that naturally are more curious, will go and search for themselves what's going on. Now, most of those big chains we're seeing out there, most of them is not even owned anymore by a person or a family. It's now owned by like funds, companies, those companies that owns those chains gets money from investors. Those investors, sometimes it's one, sometimes it's two, sometimes it's three. The same investor are getting money, investing in other company or funds, of other big multinational. So if you do your bloody research, you start to realize that the people that are involved with a lot of those huge chains and smaller chains are all the same people. Some has a small percentage of shares, some has a bigger one, some company investing in supermarket, but then at the same time investing in coffee shops, at the same time investing in clothes. Some has a 5%, 1%, and so on. And if you start to climb up the pyramid, you start to slowly to realize that there are really 1 or 2, 3 huge, I don't even know how to call it, investing company, funds, I don't know, there's something that it's huge that have basically hands involved in everything, they have money involved in everything, they have shares of this and that, they're investing in this and that. Now, and this is something that you can still find on internet. If you do your own research, you can see how the same name will pop up everywhere. Anything that you thought to be owned independently, even just maybe a small group of people, or you will see the same name popping in, like the same like 3, 4, 5, 6 investing funds. Like I'm calling it this way because I don't have the technical term to describe it, but you understand what I mean. Like the same company, like let's call it in this way, you will see the same name investing or getting money, like shares or stocks. You will see the same name involved in thousands of different companies. Nowadays, if you talk to a lot of business owners, the one that's still, owning their own business, you will notice something that becoming very, very, very common. No one can save enough to open their own business, and it's all done in purpose, so that you need to rely to an investor. And when you open the business, it's literally not anymore owned by the owner, because once the owner needs an investor, is the investor the owner? Because if the person that we call the owner is unable to pay back the investor will take the business away. So now the investors don't care if the business is not making enough money. They want the money at the end of the month. And so where you cut? Where do you cut? if the business is not making a lot of money, you cut on pays, so it's the workers to pay the consequences. So it's an exploitation that starts from the top until the bottom of the pyramid. And this investor maybe got money from other investors. So you open this business, you need to give money to someone that gave you money, then the same person that gave you money must give money to some other people that gave him money. Or if you have a multiple investors, you have a multiple people to own money back. Now, if it's not investor, call it bank. The banks are owned by the same people that owns the big supermarket chain, the cleaning products, your clothes and so on. So the bank, it is your owner. So if you don't pay, they take your business. So probably all you can actually open, if you save enough, is a liquor store in the market. This is not an accident. This is, to me, it's created by design. If you cannot save enough to start your own business, if you cannot save enough to buy your own house, you will need money from somewhere else. Now, the same people that are coming to investing in you are the same people that are creating a system where you have to rely on them. Otherwise, all you can be is an employee. And that's what they want us to be, employees. When you see out there a lot of those business owners that they're using their name, I'm a business owner, to pumping themselves, to kind of like boost their self-esteem that has been nicely created by the system that creates all those rules, is actually not a business owner at all. He's just an employee, because he had to borrow money from investors, he had to borrow money from banks, and if he doesn't pay them back, he will lose his business. So what is he is a business owner? No, he's just an employee. He has a name, he's the owner of the whatever business. He calls himself the owner or herself the owner, but it's not. And it's the plan. Now, we are unaware, and our education system literally taught us since a young age to be dependent of this system, and we just feeding this system. And you can see it, like as soon a chain open a new store somewhere, people won't questioning what it is, they just go and flooding inside and spending money, basically pushing themselves to a big enslavement, unaware that all we are just free-range human beings, where all is given to us for free is to breathe, because we are not being given for free. Not even our own thoughts is anymore our own thoughts. It's been manipulated and fed by the same big corporations that owns everything. Now, tell me, the biggest employers are the biggest chain. The factories are owned by the same names that owns supermarkets and so on. We are all, most of us, employed by those people. And that's what the system has been created for us, with very little options to choose from. And the only alternative is being given to us is to trying to suffer as less as possible. And the only alternative is that is being given to us is drugs, so that we can feel like the pain can be like somehow hide. They didn't give it that. There is no alternative. If you become aware, you can start to try to find some other alternative, but it's not that easy to pursue. Because what is that? Which is the alternative? The alternative is to create your own economy, your own system, but try to create your own community. Really few it's able to do, because really few actually reach that understanding, because really few, like no one have been taught about it. They don't want independent thinkers. They want a collective of slaves that works hard until they don't have any more energy, and then they become just rubbish. They can be thrown away. It's an exploiting game, and when you become slightly aware of what's going on, that's when massive war distraction take place with the name of wars. Now it's becoming climate emergency and so on. So that if you start to thinking about it, the women should distract you well enough. We are somehow in the past you could work and save and buy your own house and open your small business. Nobody's thinking how is it possible that it's not possible anymore. I grew up in Italy. My dad he owned his own house, he owned his own business. My mom would stay home looking after me and my brother until my father died. And my father, with a small bookshop, could look after an entire family of 4, including himself. It's not possible anymore, and we are so busy, because they made us so busy to survive. They distracted so badly that really refuse to questioning, like how is possible that before you could own a house, you could own a business, and you could maintain all a family of four. Nobody's asking this question because they are not giving us the time. They distract us and they put us one against each other. So what is going on with Black Street Coffee that is affecting an industry that where I am part of, that is hospitality? It's just a small thing compared to what's going on. And actually, I wouldn't even say a small thing. This is not the correct term. It's part of the same monster. So it's a big thing. It's part of the same monster that it's eating everything possible in our society and planet. Because you must understand, all those different names and businesses means nothing anymore. The real owners are all the same people. When you see Sainsbury, when you see ZARA, when you see Poundland, when you see Blank Street Coffee, when you see Black Sheep Coffee, when you see like hand sanitizer, surface cleaners, they are owned by the same people. And you keep climbing up, and then you start to see less and less owners, and you start to see that at some point you have maybe 3, 4, 5 huge corporations that owns all the smaller one, and then you keep going up, and those 4 and 5 becomes 3, then 2, and then it becomes 1. And this one in the hands of maybe few families. We have been given one choice, and it is literally to accept to be a slave or not. Now, I strongly believe that a change is possible. And it is happening. It is why destruction becoming heavier and bigger.